Release practice day 1. Jesse's bus ride to school is 5 minutes more than 2/3 the time of Robert's bus ride. Which graph shows the possible times of Jesse and Robert's bus rides? So we're trying to figure out how long Jesse's bus ride is. And it is 5 minutes more than, so we're going to add 5, 2/3 of Robert's time. So we can write an equation which would show our slope and our y-intercept. So our y-intercept has to be at 5, so it can't be D, and it can't be A, because B and C are the only two that have a y-intercept at 5. And we need a slope to go up 2 and over 3. Looks like B has the slope of 2/3, but C does not. So our answer is B. Number 2, which is the graph of this function? It looks like it's a quadratic function because it has the x squared. And in order to figure out which graph it is, we can use a couple of different pieces of information. The 7 represents the y-intercept. So I need to find the graph, which I know is kind of hard to see, but we want to find the graph of the y-intercept at 7. So it's not B, and it's a little too high, so it's not C. It looks like graph A has an intercept at 1, 2, 3, 4, and graph D has an intercept at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which would match, but we're still not super sure because we can't really see it, which wouldn't happen to you on an EOC, but we could find the axis of symmetry, which is the x equals negative B, and in this case it is a negative already, 2 times A. So we have 8 divided by 8, which is 1. So we're looking for a graph that would fold in half on where x equals 1. But again, our y-intercept is not correct for A, so it's going to be answer choice D. Number 3, which expression is equivalent to t squared minus 36? This is a binomial because it's only had 2 terms, and I can separate it into 2 parentheses. T squared, each parentheses would get a t, and then the square root of 36 is 6. And when we use this rule, 1 has to be positive and 1 has to be negative. So I'm looking for answer choice B. Number 4, the floor of a rectangular cage has a length that is 4 feet greater than the width, which is the W. So we don't know anything about the width.
I'd like this bronze bill to the office.
Alright, so the width is just W, and the length is 4 feet greater than the width. Which equation represents the new area of the floor of the cage if we increase both dimensions by 2 feet? So we're going to add 2 feet to the length and add 2 feet to the width. So if we were looking at a picture, our width would be W plus 2, and our new length would be W plus 6. And so how do we find area of a rectangle? We do the length times the width. So our area, or in this case the new area, would be W plus 2 times W plus 6. We use FOIL. First, outer, inner, running out of room, 12. So we can simplify by combining our like terms. So we get W squared plus 8W plus 12, which is answer choice D. All right, 2 more. What scenario could be modeled by the graph below? We want to look for the y-intercept and figure out which one of these equations would match it. So here we have a negative slope also that we want to look for. So we know that it's going to be minus, so the number of pounds of apples minus was a keyword that would tell us a negative slope. Same thing, minus. And then both of these have plus, which would give us a positive slope. So we want to eliminate C and D. We also know that it would be the number of, at most 5, so we don't want to go over 5, so it would not be A or B. And then here this 2 times would be our slope, so the slope would be a negative 2. So down 2 and over 1. Okay. And then this one would be minus 1/2, so we would go down 1 and over 2, down 1 and over 2. So it looks like B doesn't match up, so it is answer choice A.